So here we go. It's 7:31. Appreciate you coming back to the channel. We're moving on with the electrical. I'm working on doing the dining room light. Pop came over to help out, and after I do this, we start working on the rest of the house, putting in the outlet wiring, the 12-2, mostly in the middle rooms, and we get that pretty much knocked out. Here I had Pop kind of moving me around on the scaffold so I could actually not get down and move it myself and put the wire into the box. Video angle was not the greatest, of course. You can't really see what I'm doing, but anyway, got the job done. And moving on to the outlets, pretty straightforward. We had all the it's kind of nice to just string the wire behind the 2x instead of drilling holes. We did have to drill a few holes here and there just to get the wire around certain corners, but for the most part the wire goes behind the 2x, string it along, and just connect it to the boxes. I'm not doing a total rough in here. I'm just doing just running the wire into the boxes, and then I'll come back and strip the wire and cut them to length. That's going to probably happen. I'm making the video. It's 8:4 or 8:5 already, so we're going to do it probably within the next day or two. I'm going to start stripping, and I did a few already, but you'll see that at the end of the video. But right now we're just running the wires where we need them and filling in some of the boxes which I forgot or had to buy additional of. What's really funny is even though I was running around the house, Angie and myself were both trying to find all those spots for the boxes. I had to buy quite a few additional round boxes for closets and ceilings where there weren't ceiling fans, and so I had to buy extra, like the shower one. I had to buy that another day, and then I ended up buying another 8 on 8-2 and putting those in place. I'm not done with all of them yet either. I have to do our closet and a few places in the bathroom and stuff like that. But anyway, miscounted. It's hard to find some of these boxes, although the last time I went to the store, Home Depot had pretty much what I needed, so I think things are coming back. It's kind of been weird trying to get some of the typical things that people use for wiring a house. So here you see it just wiring up the last part of the middle shared bathroom. I'm doing the light, which is going to go over the sink area, and putting in the light switch wiring as well. Then we continued on with all the sockets in the this is Angie's office and in the spare bedroom here, and I think Angie and I come back the next day and finish up the apartment, and then a few days later the game room. As you can see, most of the wire I'm pulling to the switches is a 3-wire, depending on what we're wiring up. If it's just a ceiling fan or light, it just needs a 12-2. If it needs a 3-way switch, it's a 12-3, or other complicated configurations. So you can have a control line and then just the hot and the neutral to go with. Here I'm doing the hallway. I missed by an inch or two on that box. I relocated it, moved it over, and now it's centered in the hallway. And on to doing the ceiling fan mounts, the metal boxes. This is the spare bedroom. I don't know if you can technically call it a bedroom because it doesn't have a closet, but it's a spare room anyway. Hey guys, we take here in Blue Ridge Hill, so that was a good hot day. It's gonna rain a little bit, so I'm almost done anyway. But Pop came over to help. You saw him helping me do the sockets. I just did the wires, the power runs for the lights. The lights are on the same circuit. The sockets are on a different circuit. My office, Angie's office, and the bedroom are on separate socket circuits, so I'm trying to keep that separated. Lights, however, in this whole area are on one circuit because they're kind of a low amp issue. I'm going to put one more wire in for the apartment or the bedroom, and I'm out of boxes, so I have to buy a handful of single gang boxes to finish up the wiring. Maybe 3 or 4 double gang boxes, and then we're good to go.
So we're getting close. We're almost done with the wiring. I always say that, but there's always something else to figure out. I still have to run the network cables and finish up the apartment. I basically just ran the wires, didn't put them in the box or anything like that. And then eventually we'll start doing the stripping of the wires, putting in the Wagos, connect them all up, and that'll be the rough-in wiring. It's going to be interesting. Hopefully I remember everything I did. That's a good one. Because some of the boxes, especially the 3 gang, they have a lot more switches on them. So it'll be, hopefully, I'll remember what goes to what. I just trace the wire, it's not a big deal. I'm exaggerating a little bit, but at the same time I have to be careful on what I do. The sockets are super simple, everything's just powered, black and white, and off they go. All the switch stuff, especially the 3-way switches like in the hallway, the living room area, the dining room, that kind of thing, they're a little more intricate. You have 2 hots instead of just 1. So anyway, we're almost there. Good day. It's super humid. It's going to storm in a few minutes here. So I'm going to sign off and appreciate you guys watching. Come back again for more. Hopefully you enjoy the portion with the metal building. That's exciting because we got 1 big, or maybe 2 more big giant loads, 40-foot trailer, probably next week that we have to bring back. And that's all the structural and more of the paneling. So we'll show you that later. Anyway, see you guys later. Ciao.
So Angie and I bang out the socket wiring on this is 8.2. I did the bedroom, the light switch, and all that other stuff. Angie's there doing the mounting the sockets. She was hammering all the U staples to the wood to make it legal, and we finished up that room pretty quick. And then we move on to doing the game room, which you'll see in a second. Here we're wiring up the 3-way switch in the hallway in the apartment, and pretty straightforward. 3-wire, 12-3 to the light switch. Then I remembered I had to do a power line to that as well, so I had to add a wire, which I don't probably show you in the video. But anyway, pretty straightforward. Now we're gonna move to the game room, cut a hole in the upper container, put the hose in there so we don't scuff the wires, and Angie's gonna feed the wire to me. And this is just two circuits. One is the light, one is the socket circuit, and pretty easy to do. It's taking quite a bit of wire. It's unbelievable how much we're using. I lost count of how many reels we've used, so it is what it is. Anyway, lots of wire.
Here we are, we're continuing with the game room, doing electrical. We're almost done. We stopped last night around 5:30. Did the lights for the ceiling fans. I think we're ordering the ceiling fans today, so a little early, but no big deal. I'm going to wire up the rest of the sockets, and that's pretty much it up here. I might even get to the lights to the outside, we'll see. And then the fun part begins, wiring the island, and then getting ready for little odds and ends that I haven't finished. Outdoor lights, we're doing a bunch of floodlights, basically master bedroom corner where the door is, 2 floodlights at the back of the wall underneath the overhanging container, and then 2 lights on the outside for the apartment and the office in the corner. Shouldn't be too hard. It's just they're going to be these 3 over here on the back side of the house will be on 1 circuit, and then individual circuits for the master and the apartment and the office. Anyway, shouldn't be too bad, but the fun part's going to be busting through the concrete. I do have a nice hammer drill, a big one for that, chisel, and hopefully we won't hit the cross piece metal parts. I'll measure for that just so we don't hit it, because that would make our lives a little harder. I'd have to cut through the metal or just move over, but should be straightforward in making the hole, and then figure out where to run the wire. Anyway, we're going to switch to a time lapse, and we'll talk at you later.
So I'm running more of the socket wire. This is 8.3, so August 3rd. I'm finishing up doing the little bit of work we didn't do the day before. Just did this pretty quick, and then I'm still waiting on the ceiling fan mounts, which come on. I'm going to install on 804. So pretty sure we're gonna probably need 1 more roll of wire. I'm not sure yet. The 12.2. We have quite a bit of the 12.3 left, so we'll finish stuff with that. But I still have to do half the garage, so I'm not sure how much we'll need there, and then do the island as well. So installing the last box for the lights for the outside, and then doing the last socket. I decided to do it right over the middle of the room. was the shortest run I could think of to get a socket to the back part of that wall you see on the left. Kind of a weird place for doing wiring, so it made sense to do it through the ceiling and down. There I'm pre-wiring for the lights that are going to go over the stairway. We're going to get these crystal ball lights that are going to hang right around that area. I don't have the boxes for that as well. I think I went to the store that day to get more.
Hi guys, we take care of Blueberry Hill. This is August the 4th. Appreciate you coming back to the channel. We've got a few things happening. Today we're getting the spray foam machine delivered. It should be here in an hour and a half maybe. And I'm going to start drilling holes in the dining room and the kitchen island for power. I'm going to do the same thing for plumbing once we finish all the electrical, so I'm not going to cross-pollinate the work. I'm going to go to the fireplace for the line from the island, because that's the easiest method I could find to go to the panel. All the other areas would be a lot more work and a little more indirect. So I'm going straight to where the fireplace is. It'll crawl up the wall all the way around and into the breaker panel. Anyway, let's get started. I'm going to switch to time lapse and let's see how it works. See you in a bit.
Always good to have the right tools for the job. Here's a pretty good hammer drill. And I got the right bits for it. I'm just going straight through the concrete, which is about 3, almost 4 inches thick. Go straight through the plywood that's still underneath it on the bottom of the container. I made sure I measured between the support beams of the metal parts so I could actually cut through it. And then you saw me use the hole saw to cut through the wood nice and round.
Wow. Well, time lapse or not, that went in really good. I had to go underneath before I started filming the time lapse, make sure I wasn't going to hit the supports that go this way on the containers. These are 2 containers. I just missed the center joint. There's a frame section, and I went through the floor, the wooden floor. It is about that thick. And now we're going to put a hole over there by the fireplace in the same manner. So it's working out so far. It was actually, I'm glad I didn't hit any rebar, although the drill I'm using, it'll punch through that as well, so shouldn't be a problem. But anyway, on to hole number 2. Fantastic.
Now I'm doing the same thing to the right where the fireplace is. I chose this location just because it was easy to plumb in here and then run the wire along the wall on the second floor into the breaker box. All other methods would have been a lot more work, and accessibility was not that good. So this worked out pretty nice. Once I cut the hole, I went in the bottom, and you'll see me putting in the PVC piping so I could run the wire through it.
Oh, there's the hole through the, this is, remember the panels I welded for the floor, that's going through that. So now I'm going to connect that hole to that hole using schedule 40, that gray PVC. And then we're going to run our wires through there. Yay. So there we go. We have the hole down there. And I'm going to shove this PVC pipe in that hole. You can see the wood that's kind of destroyed down there. I'm going to punch through. And on the other side, right above my head, there's another hole. And I'm going to attach this PVC, put another end on it, and we'll connect the 2. See how that goes. So I thought I was in non-time lapse mode, but I wasn't. So that back there is the hole, the PVC shoved into it. It's basically just sitting there. I'll probably go upstairs and well, I'll see how it goes. If I have to glue a coupler on it so it won't slide back down. Right now I'm going to try sliding this PVC into this hole, and then we'll cut it to length. We're going to go over this beam as well, so we'll see how that goes.
So I'm doing the glue up for the section that runs underneath the fireplace. I basically cut it with the Sawzall, glue it up, shove it in the hole, and everything turned out really nice. Then I go to spray foam the stuff around the concrete, seal that all up so we don't get any bugs or anything, and it'll actually glue it into place as well. So it turned out to be pretty easy. I'm going to do the same thing with the plumbing, of course, or right around that kind of concept.
So look what just popped in. Here's my very cool setup for spray foam. It's called a Little Pup. It's a portable unit. It's got obviously some pumps here. It's fairly portable. It's going to be a little bit, I don't have to get it on the second floor, I just have to get it in the vicinity of the second floor. It's got, I forget how many feet of hose. I think I got 200 feet of hose. And the only thing I have to do is get a portable stand for the 55-gallon drums of A and B spray foam, and we'll be in business. So I'm very excited. This is going to be really cool. I'm sure the gun is in here, and those are obviously the pumps right there, and we'll see how it all works. Anyway, quite excited to have it. It took a little longer because all that junk that's going on in 2021 and 20. But anyway, it's a big deal. So we finally have the hardware. Now we have to find the spray foam. That's not going to be as easy as it was in 2019. Apparently there's still shortages of that. I do have some contacts. I got to make a few phone calls and get some. But hopefully we'll find. I'm going to probably end up getting 2 sets of 55-gallon drums. So I'll have probably not enough to do the whole house, but enough to do most of it. And we're going about 2 inches thick on this stuff, and then normal insulation on the inside walls just for sound control. So no spray foam on the inside walls, but the outside walls for sure, and the ceiling of course. Anyway, that's it. This is intermixed with my my installation with the electrical stuff. You can see walking in here, here's the PVC for the island. Wire's going to go through there. And the other side is right there. And I'm going to shove a PVC pipe in there, extend it up a couple 3 inches, and then run it along the wall all the way around like I did these wires. This is the simplest way, like I mentioned earlier. All the others would have been a lot more work and probably a little more difficult just from where I was going to put it. So anyway, we got that done. Now we just have to run the wire.
So after getting the spray foam machine, I went back to doing the rest of the plumbing here, or plumbing, the electrical wire. I made a little bigger extension here on the PVC, just so we could have it above the concrete. Now I'm sealing it up with closed cell foam, and we're done. Yay! Now I run a 4-3 wire. I have plenty of this. I'm going to be maybe short on the 12-2, so rather than buying a whole another roll, I decided to use a 3. Cost isn't that much different, so no big deal there. But you know, use what you got. Can't return it anyway because I already cut some stuff off of it. So I'll just use 3 of the wires here. The neutral and the black, and we'll call it good. Anyway, pretty easy. Just run it up on the header and then into the fuse block, and we're good to go. All right, so after finishing this, running this wire, I'm going to finish up the ceiling fan mounts. They all came in the day before, so I got 5 extra ones. Well, not extra, they're the ones I needed. And install them, 4 big screws, then you position the box where you want. You'll see me here break one of the bolts that hold the box in place. I used a driver and that broke. So I had to take the box off and fix the mount, put my own screw in there and put it back in. The rest of them went pretty easy peasy. Just 4 screws per side. And it's supposed to hold 100 pounds or a little over 100 pounds. So we'll see if that's true. Hopefully they won't rattle, fall on our heads. So tightening up some of the wires, then I stripped this. This is a light switch in the apartment. And then I clean it up, snip the wires, and pull the romex off. I'll show you that in more detail later. 12.2 is no problem. The tool does that. 12.3 I just rip the yellow romex sheeting off and then just pull on it. It comes off pretty straightforward. I hadn't started clipping off any of the ends yet. That's going to come later. That's going to be pretty tedious. I'll probably do that as I do each socket and light switch. We've got quite a few. I'm going to have to count them up. I think we have like 180 boxes total. That includes the ceiling fan switches and all the sockets and outdoor lights, etc. So.
Wow, okay, what a day. So it's around 6:30. I'm really hot. I just opened the windows and door on the second floor. I was gonna quit, then I decided to put the last 2 ceiling fan mounts in. And I'm doing the initial rough-in electric as well, so I'm stripping the romex, the yellow insulation off. I'm not stripping the wires yet, but I'm gonna leave that for when I put the sockets in and stuff. For rough-in installation, all you need to do is have all the wires bound within 8 to 12 inches of the socket or the box, ceiling, socket, light switch. And then I believe they want the wires stripped as well. I don't really know the answer to that, but they're just looking for basically having enough sockets and the wires secure. So we'll see how that goes. I think I'm very, very close. I'm gonna run around and do final inspection. I got a couple more boxes to put up. The round ones for the bathroom and the closet. And then I'm gonna go around and do the rough-in strip installation and stuff. That's gonna take a few hours. You saw me pulling on the yellow cable with the wire snips. Those are clean tools. The 12-3, I haven't found a tool that does the one simple clip and pulls the insulation off. So basically you yank on, pull it apart, and then the yellow is meant to come apart pretty easy. So I'm doing that technique. The 12-2, not a problem. It's got a 12-2 snippers. You just put it in there, snip down and pull, and everything comes apart real nice. So anyway, I know they have the tool. I just haven't been able to locate it. Amazon doesn't have it. Local electrical stores are $40, $50 price tag, so I'm not going to bother with that. It's working pretty good, just ripping the insulation off and making that work. So anyway, all good. That's it for today. I'm going to have a cold beer. See you tomorrow. Ciao.